God damn it.
Oh, the edit's going to be great on this.
Okay, you want to just stop and start again?
No.
Okay. All right, go for it.
No, it's your turn.
I did last one.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
You're the guest here.
Okay.
Do the thing.
Do the thing? The thing?
Not the thing, the thing.
Not the thing, the thing?
The other thing.
The other thing?
Yeah.
That thing?
Not that thing.
Okay. So, welcome to Mike and Dave Hit the Stage. I'm Mike the Angry Wizard, sitting in for Mike that is actually hiding out somewhere in some random woman's underwear drawer.
Well, not the drawer. He's just in the women's underwear.
He's wearing women's underwear?
I would assume so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, it's 2023.
Whatever makes him feel better.
Yeah.
Who cares?
All right.
I support your decisions. Well, not all of them. That thing with the cutout here and mustache there, not so much. Not you, him.
I used to do that.
Not like that.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, before you knew me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was the 90s?
2001?
Yeah, that was right before we met. Anyway, I am Dave. We are ridiculously tired for some reason in the middle of the day.
Yeah, and
we had horrible technical difficulties on the last one.
And we were just watching a video of Mark Bolan's head trapped in Elton John's keyboard with Ringo Starr dressed as a clown.
I don't know why.
Neither do I, but
I don't know why
T-Rex ruled.
Yeah, T-Rex did rule. All right, so this is episode 42. The instrumentals. Now, the funny part is we are both huge Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fans. I didn't do the math for this. You didn't do the math for this. And somehow we both missed the 42 reference.
Mm-hmm. I would have been wearing one of my Hitchhiker's Guide themed shirts for this, but
I got nothing when it comes to that. I just would have probably put the book right there.
Do you know where your towel is?
I'm fat. Of course I know where my towel is. It's right there so I can bathe myself in between episodes.
You hoppy fruit, you.
Oh, God. We are messes. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about instrumental songs. Some of these are from instrumental artists, and some are from regular bands. And to jump right into it, we're going to start with Scatterbrain.
With Mozart Sonata No. 3 off the album Here Comes Trouble.
Yeah. Why? Shredded classical music is always amazing. Mm-hmm. But what were they thinking?
Well, this was the first album as Scatterbrain.
And what were they before this?
Before that, they were a band called Ludachrist. They were a Long Island thrash metal band.
It's a good change.
Yeah. And what I really think, this album came out in 90. In 89, you had Extreme with Play With Me and Flight of the Wounded Bumblebee.
Ah.
So, and if you have you ever really listened to the rest of the Scatterbrains stuff?
Not really.
You've heard Don't Call Me Dude, obviously. It was like a funk metal kind of thing, almost kind of like there's slapping the slapped bass on it.
You almost said slapping the bass?
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I mean. But the guitar work was really well done, and it was, I don't want to say virtuoso guitar work, but it wasn't your standard.
It is a step above.
Yes,
straight up a step above.
Exactly. So I think they were probably inspired by Extreme. This is me just talking out my ass. By Extreme with the those other two songs the year before.
I wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah,
this is really good. Excellently executed. Mm-hmm. Their style is their tone is awesome.
Yes, and they're very eclectic.
Yes, which is why their songs are so wild.
Right. They have Don't Call Me Dude, Drunken Milkman. They have a medley of covers called Down with the Ship, where they break into different things, and then the chorus just ties it all together with "I'm not going down with the ship."
I've heard you've played that for me before. They're out of their mind.
Yeah,
out of their mind.
And they covered Cheech and Chong, "Earache My Eye."
Not my favorite Cheech and Chong piece. Mexican Americans is my favorite.
Okay.
If I say
was
Mexican, my wife will fit in Mexican American.
I was also partial to Cheech Marin's solo, Born in East LA.
I almost headbutted the microphone.
But, you know.
A Springsteen reference who I don't like.
Right.
And a song that I didn't like. Oh, my God, my brain. It's always the last one. Mm-hmm. It's always the last one. Yeah, it's really good.
It's short. It's to the point. It's exactly what you imagine it would sound like.
I really thought I was going to have the shortest song on here. And you beat me.
This was actually the first one I put on.
Minute.
This is the first song I put on the list, believe it or not.
And my first one was the first one I picked for this, which was Laguna Sunrise by Black Sabbath.
Okay.
And I figured you had a lot to say about this.
Not because of what you think. The song itself is fucking beautiful.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm shocked.
I did look up what year this was, just because it had a feel, and this is not a knock. I'm not saying they ripped anything off.
Is it 73 or 74?
Yeah. It had the feel of something that came out like with Zeppelin 3 or Zeppelin 4, which is probably what was going on in music at that time. It is not a knock in any way, shape, or form.
Also, they had a huge cocaine budget on this album.
Yes, true. But you would figure with that much cocaine, they'd be playing faster.
I thought that. And then I thought, maybe
this is when they were mellowing out?
The come downs?
Yeah, true. Now,
this is not the album where they had the $60,000
budget.
$60,000 expenditure for cocaine.
Okay.
No, this had a $10,000 a day expenditure for cocaine.
This is going to sound horrible, but I wish I had that problem with money, not with cocaine.
Yeah, everyone wants $60,000 a day.
Yeah. I thought it was $10,000 a day.
No. That was no, it was $10,000 a day.
Yeah.
I think it was 60 days. It was like
Jesus. So that's 600,000.
It was a ridiculous amount of money for cocaine.
Yeah.
All expenditures on cocaine are too much. But I mean, if you're going to spend money on an illicit substance, that's a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised anybody made it through the recording process.
Yeah. But what you were going to say, like, I have to actually bring this up because you had said in one of the previous episodes, like, how I don't like Ozzy, whatever. I used to love Ozzy.
Really?
One of the, I want to say, like, my first 5 CDs that I bought, when you start collecting CDs as a kid.
You check off the boxes for Columbia House?
No, I never did. Believe it or not,
name?
I never did that. I bought it I bought the CD at the Sam Goody on Queens Boulevard across the street from Queens Center Mall.
I know exactly where that was.
Yeah, I think it's like it was a Walgreens up to not too long ago. But Diary of a Madman, I fucking loved that album. 13-year-old me was going nuts on that album. I loved No More Tears.
I still love No More Tears.
And
the best tracks were written by Lemmy.
Yes. But the thing is, I refuse to listen to Ozzy anymore.
Is it because of Sharon?
It's because I don't know if it's him, I don't know if it's her, but the way he fucked over Bob Daisley and Lee Kerslake, took their names off the album, put Tommy Aldridge and Rudy Sarzo's pictures into it afterwards, screwed J.K. Lee out of his publishing and his writing credits.
Didn't he also screw... He screwed 2 other people and replaced them with Rob Trujillo and somebody else.
Bob Daisley and Lee Kerslake. That was on the reissues of Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz.
Yeah.
The band was originally going to be called Blizzard of Oz. That was the name of the band.
I like that less than Ozzy.
And then it wasn't Sharon. It was, I think, her father that was the manager at the time. Was like, oh no, it was going to be Blizzard of Oz featuring Ozzy Osbourne. But then he put Ozzy's name on it, blindsided the band. Then they shit-canned the other 2 guys. And what's left? And then, oh my God. Randy Rhoads is just like, he was easygoing. He just rolled with it. After Randy Rhoads died, Rudy Sarzo, I read his autobiography. Get your hands on it. It's a good read. It's quick. It's nothing, it's not freaking War and Peace. It's a quick, you'll knock it out you could knock it out in a day,
It's another book that I wouldn't want as read by the author.
Not his accent's not that bad.
That wasn't the accent I was talking about. It's his speech inflection. I've heard him
Rudy?
with the Quiet Riot documentary. His voice irritates me.
He's Cuban. It sounds like family to me. It doesn't. It sounds like home to me. But it's like, so he quits the band. He leaves the band because he's like Randy Rhoads was the reason there. And he even said he wasn't comfortable with the setup of coming in and having his name on the album when he didn't play on it.
I get that.
So what's Ozzy do? Punches him.
Well, I will chalk that up to drugs.
Yeah, but never apologize to the guy. Lee Kerslake was dying terminal prostate cancer. And he's like, all I want is my platinum records. Give me the credit that I did this.
And they didn't.
They finally did right when the guy's going to die. Forget about the money that he never got from royalties, from songwriting credit, performance credits, anything like that. I'm sorry, Ozzy can go fuck himself. People say, oh no, it's Sharon, he was drug-addled, whatever. How long has he been sober?
I honestly don't think he's been sober as long.
But
clear.
You understand what I'm saying.
I do.
It's like, it's one of those things.
I'm not going to defend him in this. The most important thing is to know that at his worst, he was still under Sharon's tutelage.
Yeah, but
she was always there and putting up with it. And more importantly, I always felt that she would allow a lot of stuff because it's in her interest to keep him going.
Yeah, but you know what?
He's just as guilty.
Yeah, I won't listen to anything. I
Okay.
won't. His stuff comes up, even streaming, Apple Music. It comes up, skip.
Well, in this case, I'm glad that he's not singing in this one.
I know, but still.
The instrumental was incidental.
It's like this. There's songs that he has sole writing credits on. He cannot play any musical instrument outside of harmonica.
And even then, it's a harmonica.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You're basically sucking a corn cob.
Yeah.
Sideways.
I mean, it's just like done. Just done.
Okay, I can go with that. So let's talk about the next one.
Sorry.
And
well, that was a lot less angry than I thought I was going to be. I was going to say, like, just start playing solitaire on your phone at this point.
I didn't think. I honestly enjoy that you give a real reason. Like, some people are like, oh, Ozzy, he's a fucking sellout. Whatever. Yeah. Who cares? These are real reasons to feel a way about a musician. This is
maybe I take it a little more personally because I was a drummer and the drummer was always the butt of all the jokes and everything.
That is true. They are the butt of the jokes.
But, dude, like
on the other side of that, though, the drummer is the reason that the band can play in the first place. I have tried to write without a drummer. It is impossible for me. I can't program drums the way some people can. I can't imagine how to play drums. My brain just doesn't operate on that level. I don't have that brand of,
I know what you mean.
Autism.
No, I wasn't going to say that.
Said it. My brain doesn't function on that level.
Right.
So to recognize the other half of a rhythm section as being essential is not a surprise for me. And more importantly, knowing that these guys got screwed out of their stuff, and whether complicit or complacent, it doesn't matter. It sucks all around. And if you have a good reason to hate him, you have a reason to hate him. Yeah. I have different reasons that I have appreciation for him, but that definitely does tinge things quite a bit.
It sucks because like 13-year-old me, the song you can't kill rock and roll. That's the reason I bought that album. Actually, I was probably even younger because I remember it used to be played on Z-Rock. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. You can't kill rock and roll. The stupid 12-year-old jackass thing. And I was like, oh, this is wonderful, whatever. And then even fast forward to No More Tears, S.I.N., that's my favorite Ozzy song.
That's a good song. Ozzy
or Sabbath, whatever. That's my favorite one. I won't go back and listen to it. I'm just done.
It's a solid stance to take. Yeah. That's the thing. I can't knock somebody especially with my stance on Pantera. I can't really knock anyone's personal opinions of musicians, as long as they're based in something they really feel. Like, I have genuine feelings of contempt for Phil,
right?
And they're not easily. Same thing with Chris Holmes. I have a lot of problems with Chris Holmes. Can't get rid of that in my head.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I totally get it. Even if I can't put the man and the music aside. There are some people I can't do that for, and I get that, and I understand and I respect it. But now let's move on to a
happier topic.
A way happier topic. This is Rob Balducci.
Yes.
Now, I didn't write track names down. This is The Dance.
This is off of his second album called, I believe the album was called Mantra. Okay. Now, Rob Balducci, Queens guy.
Yep.
Sick, disgustingly good guitar player. Met him actually at Roxy. He was in every Thursday night. He would be in Studio A right by, so I'd be sprawled
by
out
the
on the
door.
couch reading the book. I have heard this song more times than I can count, and that I never got sick of it. The guy is sweetheart, nice guy, good. Di and I went to see him years ago. He did some random thing at a bar in Astoria called Gussie's.
I've heard of Gussie before.
And we figured hey, he's playing there. Let's go. It'll be a night out, something to do. And I figured I'd say hey, how's it going? What's up? And that's it. He spent half the night hanging out with us, bullshitting.
He's a good dude. I met Rob also at Roxy.
Yeah.
Cool guy.
RobBalducci.com. If you like Steve Vai-esque, that style of instrumental guitar stuff, check him out. That's all I got to say.
There is no rightly reason that this man should not be more famous.
No.
His style is phenomenal. His phrasing is insane.
Mm-hmm.
His playing is his tone.
Mm-hmm.
They're undeniably perfect. The musicians he works with,
right? I don't know who he was on.
I mean,
on
just
this
in
album.
general,
Yeah.
he chooses very good musicians to
Yes.
work with, and I don't know why he's not bigger.
Right. Well, unfortunately, it's one of the. I think this is. It's a time where he came out. And a style thing, because when you go to YouTube and you see these guitar shredder guys, like we were watching that Bradley Hale guy, but although he's more comedy than anything else, this song came out I think in 2000 or 2002, something like that, before YouTube, before all that. And back then, if you weren't Steve Vai, you weren't Joe Satriani, your instrumental stuff was not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was signed to Steve Vai's label, Favored Nations Records.
Him, Ben Levin, and a few others.
But so I unfortunately I think it's a thing of when he came out.
If I honestly check it out, Rob Balducci, I've met him more than once at Roxy. I met him. I mean, he's one of the nicest guys. These guys with their acumen sometimes can be a little full of themselves. He is not. He is totally not.
Totally down to earth.
I was mad at you for me not thinking about this first.
Well, originally I had put another song in, and I was like, the song was Dog Boots by this band Planet X, which was Derek Sherinian and Virgil Donane, and I forget who else was in the band. But I was like, it's a cool song, but it didn't go anywhere.
A lot of the Planet X stuff doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, it was boring. So I was like, oh, is it too late to change something? And then I was just like, fuck it, I got to put Robin, because
that's when I used Black Utopia on one of the lists.
Okay.
From Planet X.
Okay.
It's an 8-minute song. It goes nowhere.
Yeah.
It's literally recursive. This is not that.
No.
This has a beautiful, beautiful movement to it.
And his tone.
It's not the traditional of the early 2000s Line 6 Spider.
Oh, not Line 6 at all.
And it's a very warm sound. It's a live sound. Even in a recorded environment, it has a livelihood to it.
Let me just check something.
Here we go.
No. I'm just checking one thing.
I can't wait to see what it is.
No. If I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember the name of the amp. That's why.
I'm surprised he wasn't one of the Soldano guys.
No, he would use the Soldano at Roxy, or he would bring his own amp. He'd bring a Cornford and just tube screamer and like maybe a delay, and
there is something
that's about it.
I always say there's something about Soldanos, something about I've never heard of. What is it?
Cornford
I've never heard of, but if that's what this was,
Bitdefender's blocking their wood.
Yeah, great.
It's a boutique British like handmade.
I had a friend who had a Supro amp.
Yeah.
And had to return it. Well, he had to have it repaired. They sent it back, and he had like a low number in the production line, and they sent him back a completely different one. He was livid.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Even secondhand, they're freaking.
Yeah, those are expensive. In the 2,500 range for a very, very small combo.
Yeah, it's 212. But yeah. But
Roland Jazz Chorus, that's all I got to say.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking like that's it. Just that. I seriously think it was just a delay and a tube screamer and a wah. And there's something to be said for something as bare bone to get that tone. And I'm sure he was using a lot of other stuff in the studio.
Do you remember Leo coming in?
Yeah.
With his tube screamer and his noise suppressor?
Yeah.
And that was it.
Mm-hmm. That's all you need.
I couldn't believe it. And I had a mission control board of pedals to get the basicest of bass tones. Even now, like now down to one, but there's like 9 pedals in that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. These guys figured out their tone so quickly, and I think that the tone and their way they play makes so much of the sound overall, even beyond just writing. Because you can write and play whatever, but if it has no feeling, it has no feeling.
Right.
And this is all feel.
Yeah. So again, robalducci.com. Please put that in the
I
show
will
notes.
add that
please.
in.
Check him out, and I believe he does lessons also.
Oh, if you can get lessons from Rob Balducci, do that. Please do that.
Yeah.
There's a guy, if you want to take lessons, that's a guy you'd want to learn from. Just check him out. Even on YouTube, his stuff is amazing. So let's go to the next one.
Okay. This is yours?
This is Mahavishnu Orchestra featuring John McLaughlin. This is Meeting of the Spirits.
I loved it.
Okay, so this is from college. One of the hippies that I hung out with, like Luigi and I and a few other people all hung out together. There was this guy, Tim. Tim was like, you got to check out Mahavishnu Orchestra. You got to check out John McLaughlin. And because he was a hippie and he looked baked all the time, I was like, yeah, whatever. I finally checked it out and I was blown the hell away. It was transcendent, is the best way to put it. This reminds me of John McLaughlin Group, obviously. And then this also reminds me of Yes and a little bit of Rush.
A little bit of Crimson in there.
Oh, you can feel King Crimson in this.
You know what I love about this?
Let's hear it.
They kept the bad notes in.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
This is what freeform jazz feels like. Where it's like, yeah, we're making mistakes, but
fuck it.
Part of the experience.
It works.
Was it Victor Wooten says you may be on the wrong note, but it's on the way to the right one?
Yeah.
God,
this was fantastic.
I love this stuff. There's I think this is a 7 or 9 piece group.
I couldn't tell you.
There's so many people. But it's so good. And this made me think of the world's worst jazz band. They're not a bad band. It's the Apollo Stars.
No idea.
Okay, so did you know Scientology sponsors music? Did I break him? I broke him. I broke him. So there are legitimate groups that were sponsored by Scientology. So the Apollo Stars literally played on the ships. Oh, it gets worse. I think I really broke him.
Oh my fucking God.
I got him.
Please continue.
So they were a jazz band. And they at rehearsals, they had to pay $1 for every wrong note played.
That's what fucking James Brown did.
L. Ron Hubbard.
I just unplugged myself.
Yeah, really. Good job, shit dick.
Yeah, but freaking James Brown did that too.
Yes, but the difference is James Brown had a tight band.
Yeah.
This was jazz.
I know, but that's also L. Ron Hubbard that if I remember correctly had a bet. I may be wrong, so don't take what I'm saying as gospel. Had a bet with somebody, with another science fiction writer, that he could start a religion based off his books.
I hope it was Isaac Asimov.
Dude, I hope so, because if I remember correctly, Asimov was an atheist and also just, read his shit. If you haven't read it, read it. Get the fucking book and look at it. You broke.
I definitely broke him. So, Asimov is responsible for 2 of the best stories that I've ever read. I, Robot, which is part of
the short story, you mean?
The short story, I, Robot.
Okay.
And he has Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
No.
No, is that?
Nope. That is... I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Yay!
But it's... No, that's not him.
Is that Philip K. Dick?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm what am I thinking of? He had another piece.
The Foundation?
Yes, The Foundation. Thank you. I don't know why I thought of Androids.
Yeah. Because of the robot novels.
Yeah. Philip K. Dick, questionable content.
I haven't really read anything. So
his standpoint on a lot of things in his books is a little rough.
Very
these days. Anti groups of people.
Got you.
Yeah. Not a fan. Asimov, a little more open-minded. Not quite as open-minded as Carl Sagan.
No, Asimov was pretty...
Not as open-minded as Carl Sagan. Nobody's as open-minded as Carl Sagan. He was a genius.
Okay.
he was like, the universe
C.
is
Clarke?
beautiful. Love each other.
Arthur C. Clarke?
Close. That's a close love. Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Okay, sorry. Back Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Mahavishnu, the Apollo Stars.
Yes. Oh yeah, God.
I got to play you the video of Scientology music because it's now that band is not bad,
Okay.
but there are some others. There are some famous people
Is
involved.
Travolta in there?
No, but Frank Stallone is.
He's not famous. His brother's famous.
He's famous in my head for being the brother of Stallone. No, there's
Was
other.
Jackie Stallone there with the Psychic Friends?
God. Oh, the Psychic Friends Network. What a
And Miss
scam.
Cleo?
The lady was pretending to be from the Caribbean, but was actually from Canada. Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
No, I don't
Yo,
know.
call me now. Go ahead. I can feel it. I can feel him wanting to do
I
it.
can't.
So, so there's that whole thing. But this reminds me of that kind of freeform jazz, but really good. And then, like I said, I put something, and then I realized that you just one up me without even knowing, because the next thing you put on was Car Mechanic.
Ooh, sorry. Let me mute this thing.
Oh, you forgot, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you put on Car Mechanic, and I was fucking stumped
Why?
because it's too perfect.
And this is actually the bass player, and from the Flower Kings, Jonas Reingold on bass, and then Zoltan Sors again, because he was in the band for a little while, left, came back for an album, left, but he did this one album with Car Mechanic, and the two of them together is just freaking just insane.
This is.
And the keyboard player on this is like just nuts.
So I was going to say the things I knew without knowing it was Jonas Reingold. I didn't look up who was in the band,
Yeah.
but I said the fretless sound on
Yes.
this is insane. And then when I found out it was Jonas Reingold, I'm like, oh, okay,
that
there.
explains that.
Then
And then just the runs, how he's echoing. He's him and the keyboard player are doing what Petrucci and Jordan Rudess do.
yes, okay. So for those who don't listen to progressive music, Jordan Rudess and John Petrucci put out an album.
Your screen's out,
Oh, here we go.
just in case.
Yeah, they put out an album that was basically just piano and guitar and in a live setting, and it was amazing. Feeding off
I
each
had
other.
that.
I still have it.
Oh man.
Do you need it?
Yes, please.
give you a copy.
Email it over.
I have it. I have it on
I
me.
got the. I have a
Yeah.
flash drive with me, so
We're fucking nerds.
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, basically they put an album. It's just piano, not even keyboard, piano and guitar, and just phenomenal. And this is very much in that style. Mm-hmm. It's just there's a part where it's the keyboard section and that clapping effect.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Yeah, people can't hear that,
Oh,
and if
sorry.
they can, it's really weird.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, just what they want to
I
hear,
know.
skin on skin over a recording. Most people don't watch this;
I
they
know.
listen. So it's just gonna be. You might as well just do it with your cheek, you fucking gross bastard.
At least it's not Scientology music.
Oh God. Oh, I can't wait to show you that. I kind of want to pause all this just to show you that, and I can't.
No, you know what? At the end, just pull it up and mute the audio so they
Oh.
can just see the
I
reaction.
will record a separate video
Yeah,
of your
okay.
reaction to Scientology. It's a series called This Exists.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak today. This
This
exists.
exists.
It is a guy who talks about things that are odd that show up in popular music, like
Yeah.
Christian black metal,
Okay.
which is weird. Scientology music. There was one, all the Japanese pop bands,
Okay.
all the assembled groups, the multiple person groups, covers all of that stuff, and it's crazy. But back to what we were talking about. I lost track of where we are.
Car Mechanic.
Car Mechanic. They are just insane, and
Yeah.
the keyboard runs are insane.
Yeah.
There's not much to say. It's
No,
it's hard to kiss the ass of guys who are already amazing.
It's also one of those things that I guarantee most people out there haven't heard. So if you haven't, unless you've listened to it, you can't really.
It's hard to
Explaining
describe.
it won't do it. At least to me, won't do it justice.
It doesn't do it justice. Please check out the playlist on this one. It's so important, especially this and the next track. They're so important.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one where I actually had to finagle some stuff because
I couldn't
he couldn't
find
it because it's not on YouTube Music, not YouTube, Apple Music. I was going to give you access to our YouTube page.
Okay.
So you could
then I could have
listen.
just logged into it from
Yeah.
there.
But in general, this is like, there's not much to say. It's fucking perfect. Car Mechanic is one of those few that's like, this is absolutely perfect. Why are we even talking about it? Other than to kiss its ass.
Because it's perfect.
Yeah. And we're going to move to the next one.
Okay.
This is Andy James with The Wind That Shakes the Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what did you think?
I liked it. Very atmospheric, very open. It reminded me a lot of something that I don't know what year this came out, so I don't know that stuff.
I don't know either.
Okay,
actually, on that one.
All right. Very John Petrucci.
Yes.
There's certain runs in it that I was like, this reminds me of something that I've heard Petrucci do.
Yes.
But I don't know where it's from. And then later, and I was actually going, because back years ago, like Dream Theater was like at 6:00 on Christmas morning, they would put out stuff on the website
because
to
of
download.
reference to a song.
So I was going through these old MP3s trying to see if I could find it. Like I remember there was this one old Dream Theater song called Raina, Lost Without You or something. I was like, I found it. No, that's not it. What is it? And then I'm like, it sounds very Liquid Tension Experiment.
That
also.
that was one of the Falling to Infinity demos?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But
it gets nerdy.
Yeah.
Well, Mike and I get nerdy on this.
Mike, aren't you glad you're not here?
Oh, yeah. This is just... he would be sitting in the corner biting his fucking knuckles.
Yeah. But it reminds me... It was something very... I'm not knocking it. It's freaking beautiful. But it reminded me thereof. But nothing wrong with carrying your freaking influences on your sleeve if that's where this came from.
I have two funny things about this.
Okay.
One, the riff never resolves.
I could see that.
It literally never goes back to one.
What? Right.
The only time it does is when it resets after the solo section, starts over.
Right.
But never actually transitions back to one.
Okay.
Two, this is the guitarist for Five Finger Death Punch.
Bullshit.
I swear to God.
How the fuck is somebody that can write something like this do fucking bro, I'm gonna beat up my girlfriend metal?
He is not a founding member.
How can somebody that writes and plays music like this be associated with a band that does shit like that?
So, he's a guitar teacher. I
hope so.
He does classic guitar, not classical.
Yeah.
He did lessons in country and metal and blues and rock.
So he's an all-around fucking musician.
Yes, and when he got the opportunity to join Five Finger Death Punch, he jumped at it because it was good money and it's a solid.
I get it. It's a paycheck.
And
totally get it.
He's able to write with them.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is he doesn't love writing alone.
Okay.
Like he's done a lot on his own. There was another musician on this list that I found through Andy James that I wanted to add and I couldn't because his stuff isn't available widely.
Okay.
His name is Fred Brum.
No idea.
He is amazing. I bought his album, but I can't repost it because of copyright. Purposes.
Yeah.
So the stuff that he had available was awesome, but I couldn't give it away.
Got you.
And I want to point people towards it, but it's hard.
Yeah. Throw them in the link.
I'm going to have to throw them in the links.
Throw the links.
Because that one was purchased legitimately.
Yeah.
Through...
Bandcamp?
No, that was purchased through iTunes back in the day.
Okay.
Back when I was still using Apple products. Yeah, I abandoned Apple a couple years ago. I'm not talking shit. I wanted to make a change, and when I did, I decided everything needed change. So phone, tablet, laptop, computer at home. I built my own computer for the first time in ages. It was an awesome time. And now everything is not Apple altogether. Right. I just can't do it. I can't lock into one thing like that. Even though I've locked in
the Samsung.
I did, but that's really a choice. I can literally go to any other.
But that's still Android will carry over to Android.
Yes,
so.
And I've actually, in experimenting, I actually had bought a Windows phone.
Okay.
A while back.
How those
Surface Duo.
Okay.
The 2-screen guy.
Yeah.
Bought it. It was like $3 and change. It was on sale. Grabbed it, loaded it up. Everything crossed over, and I immediately realized half of the stuff I do with my phone on a regular basis, it doesn't do.
Right.
Like it had a headphone jack. That's cool. It didn't have NFC, and I need that. Most people use NFC for payment.
Yeah.
That's not. It sucks when you're trying to pay for like get on the train or get on the bus.
That's the only way I get on the subway now.
But I'm diabetic and I have the glucose meter, and that needs the NFC. And I'm not carrying another device for that.
Just for that, yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. And the Bluetooth sounded like shit, and it was
the
battery was weak as shit. It wasn't worth it. Anyway,
Anyway, this was fantastic.
Yes, I can't believe you didn't know this was the guitarist for Five Finger Death Punch.
Why would I? Why? Why
would
I know?
I thought you might have looked into it.
No, I was purposely trying not to with this. Like, the only thing I did was with the Sabbath, because I know some, I'm not the biggest Sabbath, was never the biggest Sabbath fan, but I was just curious time-wise. Because I remember even back in the day when I was freaking however old I was, when I, again, 14, 15, I picked up Zeppelin 2, which has Moby Dick on it.
Yes.
And then the year later, Sabbath came out with Paranoid that has Rat Salad.
Yes.
So I was like, I see. Zeppelin comes out with a drum solo song, and a year later, Sabbath has a drum solo song.
I didn't see it that way.
But this was 13, 14-year-old me saying that. This is not...
There's actually something on here that goes into... There's actually a couple of things to say on the next band.
Okay.
That I think you're really going to enjoy.
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No. I'm so used to the hatred with the next one. So the next... wait, do you want to finish up? Okay.
Yeah, I think... So check out Andy James.
All right. Next, we have Rush with La Vida Estranjero, an exercise in self-indulgence.
Okay. No, I forgot about this song.
Okay.
I'd heard this. This was on that...
The Luigi tapes?
The Luigi mixtape.
Yeah.
It's such a great story. I tell people, he asked me the other day, he goes, do you still have that tape? I'm like, I have it somewhere. I have to find it.
Yeah.
He goes, I'd really like it. I'm like, you think I'll copy it? I'm not giving it back. Ask for your fucking letter jacket back, you fucking high school piece of shit. I love you, Lou. Can't stop myself sometimes. But yeah, I forgot about this. I heard this in college and it stuck with me, and I just kind of forgot this part of Rush. And in this, I heard 30 years of heavy metal and hard rock after it. Like, you can hear Dream Theater, Iron Maiden. You can hear all these other influences in it.
You hear Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Please don't get me started on that. I didn't want to say it.
They actually gave credit to it.
I was going to say, I heard it. I'm like, did they do this first, or am I imagining?
No, it's Powerhouse by Raymond Scott.
Okay, good. I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck
am
I listening to?
What it also is, before this, like when I'm first getting into Rush, and I get Chronicles, the double CD, actually it was a double tape, greatest hits compilation, and like they're very serious with what they're doing. The songs are all very, Temples of Syrinx, Bastille Day, Fly By Night's not that serious, but you know what I mean. It's this, and then they're silly in this one.
It's playful.
Yeah.
But in that, I think of when Dream Theater had, in the middle of their songs, they'd play like
the ragtime, like
was it the March of the Gladiators, the standard clown music.
Oh yeah,
that piece is called March of the Gladiators. Okay. There are these pieces that don't fit, that they play in just to be funny, and to me that's interesting because these guys are on a different level of musicianship than most people. Most of these bands and most of these artists are on a completely different level than the guys that we listen to on a regular basis, the guys that I've listened to growing up.
The guys you're going to hear on I was going to say on the radio, but the classic rock stations anyway. Because
these are not your standard. Even like looking at Moby Dick, this is not that.
No,
this is not. This is a different level.
Yeah.
I always say I'm not a huge Rush fan, but I can recognize their place not only in rock and roll history, but in the pantheon of music. They've created this effect. I remember I played something for a friend of mine, my friend Sean. I think I played him Dream Theater, and he goes, "Oh, that just sounds like Deep Purple." I go, "Yeah, that's where they got some style from. They got some from Deep Purple, some from Rush, some from Led Zeppelin."
Yeah.
We don't bite off of what we love. We are inspired by it.
Yeah, we interpret it and do it our own, not our own way, because that's saying that you're ripping it off.
Look at Scott Ian says, Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi played every note ever made.
Yeah.
We're just rearranging them, and biting off of him.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the way music is. All the notes are out there. You just play them in the order you like them. And in this case, there are so many people who find this inspiring, and I don't blame them.
Yeah. And I have not listened to this all the way through in so long. So freaking long. It was fun to revisit this after well over 10 years.
This was more fun to me than 2112.
I could see that. Well, 2112 is dense. 2112 is
it's a
very
lot.
dense.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a freaking anvil to the head. I got to keep it with the Looney Tunes theme.
It's that rocket that doesn't, instead of going forward, it just blows up.
Yeah. But this is just fun, and apparently, I read up on it to see what was going on with the bands and this and that, and nothing really crazy was happening with them at this point. But Alex Lifeson, the guitar player, had some crazy dream, and that's where the inspiration from this came from. So the song is basically the soundtrack to his dream.
That's weird.
But they're not normal people in a good way.
Well, it's also the name of it is
very good
The
way.
Strange Village.
Yes.
So, not that strange. Like when you think about how things come together.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of which, down the list, there's some really weird shit.
Sorry?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
That's going to be another point of contention.
Uh-oh.
In a good way.
Okay.
But let's move to the next one.
All right.
And this is Angel Vivaldi, A Martian Winter. Mm-hmm. Angel Vivaldi, Queen's guy.
Okay.
Phenomenal guitarist. Another guy, I've seen him in shred compilations with Andy James and Rob Chapman and Ola Englund and these guys. Phenomenal writer, phenomenal guitarist. He's done duets with Nita Strauss, just all over the place good. And this was my introduction to him was this song.
Okay.
And I know we had talked about, we had heard about him in the past, and there was some stuff.
Yeah, but that was neither here nor there.
And,
so.
and it was squashed.
Yeah, right. But it was just the name stuck in the back of my
Yeah.
head because of that. But honestly, I hated it.
You hated this, really?
Yeah, hated it.
Is it the style?
It's like for me, it's like this song is everything I hate in modern metal.
Okay. No,
Everything. The drums are either Pro Tool to death or programmed to the point where they got no life. Like I don't know if we were talking about it on the other episode or between whatever. Like how I can't, like a lot of the modern stuff I can't stand. The music doesn't breathe. Everything that's done now is done to the click. Everything is to the grid, right on the point, right there. That's where it is.
it's quantized.
Not even it's programmed to it.
But
And
even
it's
not.
like,
Sometimes
yeah,
these guys play like literally to the touch.
They concentrate on that so much that
they
the
lose
song,
the
to me, the song suffers, and it's just like, for that, put like an AI thing on play.
Well, they lose the human aspect to it.
Like it's like if you go, like you had spoken about Rick Beato in I think the first episode we did today. At some point, he actually went, "What would happen if you quantized John Bonham?" It sounds like fucking shit.
Yes, but also
It's
my
just-
complaint about John Bonham was also that it felt sloppier than it had to be.
Right, but I'm just using that.
It's-
I'm just using that as an example.
6 of one, half a dozen of another.
Okay,
It's really what that is.
okay. Let's rewind to the Rush song we just looked at.
Oh, that quantized would sound like garbage.
Exactly, because they play around. You got to be able to play around the
notes.
beat,
Around the beat.
around the rhythm. It's got to ebb and flow a little bit. It's got to have breath to it. Even a lot of the modern bands that come out, like okay, let's use Winery Dogs as an example. I know they're playing to a click in the studio, but they play around it.
Yes.
They roll with it.
Have you ever heard Devin Townsend talk about how he likes to write?
No.
So he plays the drums on the beat, the bass just behind,
Okay.
and the guitars even further behind that.
That's fine.
And that's how he creates what he considers to be the tone that pleases his ears.
Yeah.
And in doing that, creates a wall of sound
Yeah.
with very little.
Yeah, but with this one, it's so just. I can't.
He's not jerking off, I swear.
Yeah, I know. Okay, it's just like one. I just can't do it.
It's mechanical.
It just sounds like a robot.
To me, there's moments where that mechanical sound works, and there are times where it doesn't.
Yeah, with me, I can't get into it. Even like a band that never came up on here. I think they're from Finland actually. Crazy Licks. They do the
Yes.
like the very throwback of the hair sleaze metal.
Yeah, they're a hair metal band that came out in like 2017.
Yeah, a little bit earlier than that.
But even then,
yeah. But
in the 2010s.
yeah, and like they're also doing it where they're playing to the freaking grid, and it takes it out of it. It takes me out of it a little bit, but the way that they're doing it, it works. But the older stuff before they were to the grid, because it's the same drummer. It's not like they changed drummers, and they've only changed one guitar. I think one guitar player. It's not, you know what I mean? And from album to album, where it's the same lineup, but they're now to the grid.
Yep.
It's lost it loses to me it loses the humanity.
It loses feel.
Yeah,
It definitely loses feel.
but that's just
But
me.
that's what space creates. It
Yeah.
creates the ability to create feeling.
Yeah.
So let's
Sorry.
no. I like that.
I have
when
too
he-
much anger in this episode.
When he's not even that angry. You kidding?
Yeah.
If I brought up Wormed, this motherfucker'd have a stroke.
He would have smashed your laptop.
And I probably deserve it. So the next one
Is Bozio Levens Stevens with Sigane? I can't even pronounce it.
I'm glad you can't, because I can't either.
Okay.
And I'm mad you didn't pick Duende.
Okay.
Same album.
That was my first pick, and then I went for this one.
I love that song more.
Yeah.
So let's go with Bozio Levin Stevens. Terry Bozio. Phenomenal bassist. Steve Stevens.
Guitar player, played for Billy Idol, Michael Jackson.
I just fucked up. I said Terry Bozio, bassist.
Yeah, I didn't even-
Drummer.
Yeah, no, you know what it is? I'm looking, like, then you jumped to Stevens, so that, in my head,
Yeah.
it was just
So
Tony
Terry
Levin.
Bozio, drummer, biggest drum kit in the world.
Frank Zappa, Missing Persons, and Korn,
Yes.
which boggles my mind.
Hey, he's a fill-in.
Yeah,
He wanted to be a permanent member. They said no, and that was that.
yeah. Tony Levin, bass, King Crimson, Peter Gabriel, and about 7,000 other projects that were not
Liquid
gonna be able to-
Tension Experiment.
Liquid Tension Experiment, thank you.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, Steve Stevens, Billy Idol. Did you say Steve Vai one of the other episodes? Did he play for Vi, Steve Stevens?
No, he played for Deadland Ritual.
Okay, sorry. I don't know why I was thinking you said he played for Vi.
No.
But he
Not that I know
Okay,
of.
but he played for Michael Jackson also.
Oh God, of course he did. Every
Yeah.
amazing guitarist.
No,
Steve
but tour guitar player, not just
but
studio.
still, Jennifer Batten, Steve Lukather, Eddie Van Halen, all played for Michael Jackson at one point, whether recorded or live. That is insane.
Yeah.
That is a collection of phenomenal guitarists. That's the same thing when you look at some of these touring musicians. They're
The list of people they've played for.
are insane. They're absolutely insane. Yeah. Tony Levin. I'm going to talk about him for a second. The first time I ever saw a 5-string bass, it was in Tony Levin's hands.
Okay.
The first time I ever saw a fretless bass, it was in Tony Levin's hands.
First time you saw a Chapman stick?
It was Tony Levin.
Well, not many people play a Chapman stick.
Yeah,
but-
it's a very rare occurrence to see somebody playing a Chapman stick. That thing is, I actually knew somebody who played one. Like, I knew a guy.
Yeah.
And
We had a guy that at Roxy with one.
no, I knew a guy,
Okay.
like I worked with a guy.
Okay.
And I could not wrap my head around it. He's like, yeah, we both play bass. I go, no, you play a completely different
Yeah.
monster. I'm not an insult. I can't do it. Don't get it. It's like, for me, that is like thumb or slap bass.
Yeah.
My brain doesn't register properly. My wife goes, I don't understand tapping. It's just her brain she sees it
Yeah.
and she goes, that's not what I'm hearing. I see your hands going, I don't know what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Well, Chapman stick is just basically tapping.
Yes, but still, my brain
Yeah.
doesn't operate. Two hands, two different rhythms.
Yeah.
Completely
Well, it
confusing.
breaks down to like the Terry Bozzio, the 4-way coordination where he's got his feet like the left foot playing in one time signature, right foot playing in another time signature, this hand doing this hand doing this, and he's probably smoking a cigar at the same time.
Autism.
Yes. No.
No.
Perhaps. Maybe. No.
Steve Stevens. I've said this before. I showed my friend a picture of Steve Stevens, and he said it looked like Nikki Sixx and Jimmy Durante had an ugly baby. And he ruined it for me forever.
Well, at least it's not Danzig with Vince Neil.
Danzig and Vince Neil, the singer of HIV.
Yes.
Halcyon Way. Man, they're never gonna. I will. And the thing is, they weren't a bad band. They
No, they
weren't
weren't.
terrible. But I'm never gonna forget that their logo looked like HIV, and their singer was not good looking. And I don't mean like, because I'm no fucking Adonis. This guy was visually appalling. I was taken aback when I saw him. Like, ooh, Jesus.
Yeah. It was like that episode of Seinfeld where like, oh, come look at the baby. He's like, "Ugh." It's stunning.
like a taser to the neck.
Breathtaking.
Yeah. I was mad that I didn't get to it first, and I didn't put Duende, and you didn't put Duende. This is amazing. Bozio is such a douche, but he sounds so good
I
here.
know. It's like he has a 7,000-piece drum kit, but he's using all of it in this.
And he could probably do this on fucking buckets, and it would still sound
Yeah.
amazing.
I used to have this video. This was like in the early 2000s. I got it at Sam Ash. It was around the time that that Blacklight Syndrome. No, it was before Blacklight Syndrome came out. I'm sorry. Where I want to say he was playing this solo with nothing else.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And he was just doing the patterns and everything, and it was freaking wonderful. I had it on VHS. That's long freaking gone.
That
and
happens.
I've actually searched around on YouTube here and there for it. I can't find anything.
It's hard to find the old like instructional videos and the
No, it wasn't even an instructional video. It was like a concert video.
but even like the drum clinic videos,
Yeah.
the older stuff is impossible to find unless somebody grabbed it out of a VHS and uploaded it, which is rare. Most people end up with them. Like I have the progressive bass concepts video.
Oh God.
It's like watching paint dry.
Is it anything like that thing I sent you guys with the rock vocal power?
No, with Jim Gillette? I'm sorry, do you mean Lita Ford's ex-husband?
Yeah.
No. No, it's not that good.
Okay.
It's worse.
Wow.
Dude,
Because that is pretty bad.
it is the second worst bass instructional video I've ever seen.
Wow.
You know what number 1 is?
What?
Flea. The first one he did with River Phoenix, where they're both high as senator socks, fucking talking
I have
about
an instructional
the
video.
sound.
I have an instructional video that I actually saw the other day on drums. When we're off this, I'll pull it up for you. It's even worse.
Who?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was
Yeah,
bad.
Bozio Levin Stevens. 2 albums.
Yeah.
That was it.
It was Condition Dangerous and Blacklight Syndrome.
Yep.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah. Check it out.
Instrumental, all of it instrumental, experimental, I would say.
Very
to an
much so.
extent. Some heavy, some more ambient. It's good stuff.
Steve Stevens playing more of a classical guitar style in
On
most
this,
of it.
yeah. On this song.
Oh, most of it. Actually, most of the songs have
Second
that.
album, maybe. The first one, not so much.
First
the second
one,
one
not
was
so much.
heavier.
It was crazy. We might not pick up that cop car. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe. I'm watching the bars for me.
But you can't go by that.
Yeah, true. 'Cause
After
it's picking your voice up, too.
yeah, it processes through and then
Yeah.
maybe not. Anyway, we're going to go to the last song on this list,
Mm-hmm.
and this is Nightwish. This is, I'm going to read the exact title,
Mm-hmm.
Crimson Tide and the Deep Blue Sea.
Okay.
Now, this is actually a mashup of 2 pieces.
Okay.
This is The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea by
All right.
Nightwish, and the instrumental piece called Crimson Tide from the movie Crimson Tide starring Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington.
Okay.
It's just this overarching theme. Every time they show the submarine moving through the water, this
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is playing in the background.
Okay. Question.
Yes, sir.
Is this because this is a live thing? Mm-hmm. Is this like used as an intro for something else?
Not that I know of.
Is anything going on stage while this is happening?
They're playing live. That's it.
Like no video projection?
I don't think so.
Because I liked it, but I just wish it freaking went somewhere.
I knew this was going to be the case, and I agree. But I like it because out of all of Nightwish's stuff,
Yeah.
there's very little that's instrumental only.
Okay.
Because Nightwish is known for its very powerful female singer.
Mm-hmm.
First Tarja Turunen, then Annette Oslund, and then Floor Jansen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Floor. Irene's in the other band. It's hard when there are 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then their their bassist Marco also does vocals.
Okay.
So usually somebody's fucking singing.
Yeah. But it was just weird. It's like, okay, you have the intro, the intro keyboard swells and pads and everything, and then it goes to the guitar noodling. When I say noodling, I mean like this little solo things, and then the drum noodling, and then back, and this, and then it just goes back to it again.
I honestly
And then
think
it goes
this was a good opportunity to give the
back to
singer
it
a
again.
break.
Yeah, I just wish it
Didn't?
no, it did more. Like if you said this was the intro to another song
It probably
or to something
it
else,
is.
like oh then okay.
It's a piece that leads to another song.
Okay, like
as
kind of like last time I was on when you did something with oh my god, the Brooklyn band that they've been remastering the stuff little by little.
Oh, October Thorns?
With October Thorns, where I was like, was it that one? There was something that I was like, is this the intro to something else?
Yeah, it was a lead into something else. I'll pull it up in a second.
But you know where I'm going with
I do.
it. Yeah. It only feels like there should be more to it. Or if you just tell me that this thing is an intro, I get it.
Yeah, it's the hard part with stuff like this is that this has been sitting in my brain for at least 15 years.
Yeah.
So it's in my brain at all times. It's always somewhere in the background with the weird things that go on. Like, oh, this, and that sounds like a pirate. And then, oh, there it is, Crimson Tide in the Deep Blue Sea.
Okay.
But the funny part is that 2 members of this band look like pirates at all times. At least.
Puffy shirts?
One of them.
Oh, my God.
Their keyboardist looks like he's trying to be Jack Sparrow. Their drummer's always wearing a bandana and looks like he's ready to, raise the mizzen mast. And their bassist has the 2 braids, looks like a Viking, and he could be on a different ship. I mean, not comfortable. It's just weird.
Oh, my God.
I'm trying to think, what else could you have talked shit about this on? Oh, also...
No, that was it.
Unnecessary use of a pitch shifting pedal.
It is what it is. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it's...
And some of the keyboard stuff is a little choppy.
Yeah, but like I said, but it's live. It could be something with the mix. It could be something with the pads that were used. You can't always go by that.
Also, I wrote literally half this band looks like fucking pirates.
Well, that's... What was it? Ailstorm or...
There's more than one piratey band. Ailstorm. Oh man, there's another one. Ailstorm is the worst of them. Ailstorm, fuck. There were a few, and in the 2000s, that were just straight up like piratey looking fucking bands.
They were inspired by Pirates of the Caribbean.
I guess so. My other favorite is the dwarf metal band, not dwarves, not little people. No, literal
Killer Dwarfs.
No, they're dressed like
Lord of the
Rings dwarves, singing songs like Diggy Diggy Hole, and yeah, they're called Windrose. I don't know. My wife loves them. I don't know why. I think she likes short, fat guys.
But the name doesn't work with...
I don't know.
I guess.
Is that the name of fucking Gimli's wife? I don't know.
I don't know.
Fucking how the hell would I know?
I don't know.
It's fucking terrible.
You know of them at least.
I know of them.
never heard of them.
I found it on the internet once and I couldn't stop myself. I showed it to my wife and it's been chasing me ever since.
Oh my God.
And on that note, I think we should start wrapping it up.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
We have to talk about unworked apparel. I want shirts. I have to bug him again. It's been a while. I've been all over the place with family stuff. I got to make time to actually go annoy John in person. That's also fun for me.
All right. Also, who else is there? There's Roxy Joe with Acist.
Yes. You can look them up on YouTube.
And you'll have the links in the thing because I don't even know how to,
I'm gonna
spell it.
I'm going to link that. AECYST.
Bless you. What else is there?
I spent the other day going through, you know what NATO code is?
Yeah.
Alpha Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just reading off license plates because my brain just decided today's the day I'm using NATO code all day. And I couldn't remember 2 letters and I still can't. Don't know why. It's actually 3. It's P, Q, and W.
How many words could there be for Q?
Is it quilt?
Queen?
Quick? Quote?
That's more than I thought of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A P, I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, my brain goes to. I don't
Paul?
think it's Peter. I don't think no, I don't think it's Paul. Anyway, but I was doing that, and then my brain just went, ACES, Alpha Echo, Alpha Echo, Charlie Yankee, Sierra Tango. Yeah, that's how my brain works. Yeah. This is the brand that I have.
Yeah.
So we also have to talk about the Weege. Go on Bandcamp and find their album Searchlights.
All right. Fall of the Albatross. Check them out on Bandcamp also.
Their album is called Rise, I believe.
I believe so. And then since we talked him up already, just again, go hit up robbalducci.com.
Yes.
Check his stuff out. And you could find Mike when he's not hiding out in someone's lingerie drawer on Instagram as Nugs29.
And I am Basher.exe. We have Hit the Stage Podcast on Instagram. Hit the Stage Podcast on it's hitthestagepodcast.com. Hit the Stage Podcast at gmail.com if you want to email us like it's 1988. We are Mike and Dave Hit the Stage on YouTube, and we are around and listening. So for now, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves.
Hail Halford.
Hail Halford. Later.